Hey girlies, hey gays, hey theys, and welcome back to Live, Laugh, Love, Lesbian, the podcast for the girlies who like girls, for the gays, for the queers, for anyone who's a little bit gay. My girlfriend is currently mocking me. We have actually been having a bit of a rocky relationship at the minute. So the other day, she wouldn't make me a hot chocolate. And what was the other one? We had another argument where you told me that you didn't love me. You know what? I actually TikToked about it. I'm gonna find the TikTok where I told everyone that you didn't love me anymore. Break up on the. Why was it? Oh, I remember because she wouldn't share the gift voucher she won for my favourite clothing brand with me. She won this voucher, and she's never shopped with this clothing brand. It's my favourite clothing brand, so I thought surely she's going to donate this voucher onto me. Did she? No. She has used the voucher now, and have I been allowed to wear the thing she bought with the voucher? No, I have not.
Have you asked?
If I did ask, you would say no.
Yeah, but did you ask?
No.
Exactly. Don't ask them.
Well, there we go. And yeah, last night she wouldn't make me a hot chocolate, but then eventually she did make me a hot chocolate because I'm just too... She can't say no to me forever. But then the hot chocolate tasted rank, so I tipped it down the sink.
Can you tell them why it tasted rank?
We don't know why it tasted rank.
Not any fault of mine.
It wasn't Taylor's fault, okay. She does make like a banging hot chocolate, which is why I was asking her to make it in the first place, because they don't taste as good as when I make them.
But you didn't specify that you wanted that one, so I got your velvetizer out.
Yeah, she tried to make me a velvetizer hot chocolate, and I said, no, honey, I would have done that myself. I don't mind making a velvetizer one, because you just pour the milk in, pour the flakes in, press the button, and it's done. The one with the Cadbury's, and you have to stir it and put the milk in. That's too much effort, and they don't taste good when I do it because I don't put the effort in. But Taylor puts the effort in, so they taste good when Taylor makes them for me. So that's what I wanted. But it didn't taste good. I think maybe the hot chocolate powder was out of date because we've had it for a long time. Do I have any other updates for you all? Oh my god, did you all see that girl on TikTok who asked her girlfriend how many likes for me to get on TikTok for you to propose to me this year? And she said however many likes plus 3 of the cast from I Kissed a Girl to comment. And I think it was Amy, Eva, and Hannah all commented, and they were like, yes ma'am, and then they were like, let's get married. Well, not them and her, you two get married, I'm helping you. And I just thought that was really funny and cute, and I might make a similar TikTok with Taylor. This is a good question. If I was to say to you how many likes or comments or whatever for me to get on TikTok, or which famous person has to see my TikTok, what would you say for us to get married, for you to propose? Michael Jackson? That's not even funny. Isn't he dead? You want to come out on my TikTok?
That's the point.
Give me a realistic one right now.
Oh, okay.
She's thinking of a realistic one.
Where would it need to be?
So I've had some famous people liking my TikToks.
Yeah.
Me and the I Kissed a Girl cast are besties, so they comment on my stuff.
I don't want them.
Oh, she doesn't want them.
Billie
Billie Eilish.
No, I think
I love Billie Eilish.
Shawn Johnson,
Who's that?
gymnast.
Shawn Johnson, the gymnast. If you're listening, give me a comment on any of my TikToks, and my girlfriend will propose. Is that a done deal?
No, I'm going for me.
Okay, bye. So Shawn Johnson, if you're by any chance listening to Live, Laugh, Love, Lesbian, not sure if that would be up your street. I don't know who you are, but I don't know. Maybe you love lesbians. Maybe you love the gays. Maybe you're gay. I don't know. Yeah, comment on my TikTok, please. I want to get proposed to. But actually, I was thinking about this the other day, and I was talking to one of my friends about it. I caught up with a friend that I went to school with, and we were saying we know people. There was a girl in my year at school who has a 6-year-old child. She has had a baby, well, a human child. It's not a baby anymore, for a whole 6 years. And I just thought, isn't that crazy? People I know from school are getting married, people are having babies, people are buying houses, they're doing all these crazy things. And then I'm just I cannot think of anything worse than having a baby right now. I know obviously it's maybe a bit different being in a lesbian relationship because it's not as easy to just have a baby, but it's just crazy. And people getting proposed to, and then I was thinking how lovely it would be to get proposed to, but then I just thought I don't want to feel I'm rushing, because that's something that you can think about and like dream about as you get older. Like if you get proposed to now and you get married and then you have a baby and you buy a house by the time you're like, I don't know, 25, 26, like what is there to then like look forward to and like dream about and like, do you know what I mean?
Don't be a Debbie Downer.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it's like I would I would rather like wait that little bit longer than just feel like I'm rushing in and then like I'm like, oh well, I've been proposed to, I bought a house, I've had a baby, like what else is there to do?
What was it about?
No, I was just saying like people I went to school with are like having babies, they've had babies for like 6 whole years, like they've bought a house, they've got married, and I'm thinking, but what are you then like now looking forward to? What are you leaving yourself to be excited about in the future? Whereas I'm like,
maybe they have different ambitions.
no, but I just said like for me personally, it's not something that like I would want to rush into, and I'm obviously I don't want to wait forever to be proposed to, or we will end up on that ultimatum show because I will give you an ultimatum and say propose to me right now or else. But yeah, I just think that it is.
I'll take it or else.
You'll take the or else. Wow. Well, everyone, that's me back on the market. So if anyone's interested, hit me up. I also come with a cat because I will steal our cat.
She's mine.
To be fair, the cat is Taylor's cat. Oh my god, guys, I wanted to tell you all about this as well. Me and Taylor, so I can't remember if I told you all last week, but basically we had a bit of an argument because Taylor didn't think our relationship was fun enough. So we've been adding some fun back. I don't remember if I did.
Oh.
Taylor doesn't listen to the podcast, so she wouldn't know.
Of course I wouldn't know.
Yeah, so basically she was like, our relationship's not as fun as it used to be. And I was like, well, yeah, because we both now work a lot more full-time than we used to when Taylor was at uni. And we had a lot more money because...
No, we have more money now.
Do you think... I think I have less money now.
So much more
Taylor has more money now, I have less money. So I don't know how it works. But anyway, we used to have a lot more fun than we do, according to Taylor. I thought our relationship was quite fun. Anyway, we had this whole argument and I went to sleep without saying goodnight and I love you to Taylor. And then we woke up and I was like, come upstairs. We had another argument. I mean, we did not argue. I was just being very sassy, being like, well, we don't love you anymore if we don't think our relationship...
Cry.
Apparently I made Taylor cry. I don't know how I made Taylor cry because she was the one who said our relationship wasn't fun. And I was just like, but we do fun things. And then I suggested, okay, let's do something fun.
We go
Let's
to
go.
the aquarium all the time.
I love the aquarium. Taylor clearly hates it. So she was like, we're not going to the aquarium. So anyway, we're trying these things like, well, we're just trying like new and fun date ideas to keep the fun alive in our relationship. I feel like it does get to that point when you've been going... How long have we been dating? 3 years or 4 years? Almost 4 years. Like, you know, we're well out of the honeymoon stage now. And we're getting like, I wouldn't say complacent, but you know, like, we don't date each other as often, like go on dates as often as we used to. So anyway, that's something that we're putting like back into our relationship to keep the spark alive. So last week we went to the zoo. It was really fun. I do think I told you all about this. Anyway, this week we went to a paint your pet on a phone case class and it was so much fun. So any other like Geordies or people who live in Newcastle, this lady, I think she's actually based in Durham, but I think she does these like all around sort of the northeast. She was called JLH Print and it was at Flora Rose, which is in Oosburn. Basically, it's £25 per person and you do have to provide your own phone case, which I do think is a bit of a rip-off, but it's all good.
We can teach you how to do it, guys. We know how to do it.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, so it was £25 per person, but she did us a deal for £45 for the two of us. And basically, she like you send us some pictures of your pet or the pets. I painted two because I like to challenge myself. And yeah, no, I just couldn't pick between the dogs. Yeah, then she prints out the pictures and you paint them, and like there's a whole method towards it. Them sunglasses don't suit you. Taylor's doing like a shopping haul on the floor, and she's trying on the ugliest sunglasses.
Well, trial and error.
Okay, it's all good, babes. I still love you.
But they're not going to suit me either.
Let me try them on. I'll see if they suit me.
No, I don't think so, honey.
Yeah. So anyway, we painted our pets on the phone cases. So Taylor painted Olive, and I painted Angus and Brian. Olive is Taylor's cat / like half my cat, but I am technically Olive's deadbeat dad because I don't. Taylor, no one's going to be able to hear you, honey,
I know.
because we can't hear you when you have a microphone. Okay, so anyway, Oliver's Taylor's cat, but technically that I am her mum because I'm Taylor's girlfriend. But Olive is a little bit skeptical around me still, even though I've been in her life for the past 2 years. She's not sure. It's because Taylor used to go on the phone and be like, "It's your deadbeat dad calling." So she's got, she thinks I am a deadbeat dad, but yeah, it's all good. So anyway, back to the point. I painted the dogs, Taylor painted Olive, and it was so much fun. And then we went to Gingerino's Pizza, which was so good. So if you're two from Newcastle and you're looking to spice up your relationship and add some fun back in, I would recommend painting your pet on a phone case and going to Gingerino's. And Uzbek, it was giving gay vibes. Don't you agree? Oh, we also went to this gorgeous little cute cafe. I can't remember what it was called, but it's just the Uzbek Farm Cafe at the Uzbek Farm, and all the staff have additional learning needs. And oh my goodness, the man who served us, he was called Lewis, and he was so sweet, and we made best friends. And actually, we do need to go back next week because he told us all about his holiday, and then he was like, "I'll see you next week for my holiday," and then we left, and he was like, "See you next week." So we actually need to go at some point this week because, I mean, he's probably forgotten all about us, but I feel like imagine if he's waiting for us to come back before he goes on his holiday. That is just so emotional. Black ones I don't think suit you. White ones I do think suit you. But I think the black ones will suit me, so I'll wear them.
That's why. But these are they're a bit thin on my feet, and you've got freaking wide feet, so.
Well, this is the best thing about being in a lesbian relationship, and tell me otherwise. You just share everything. Taylor buys a new pair of shoes, I have a new pair of shoes. The only thing we don't share is this new hoodie that Taylor didn't share the voucher with me for because she's rude. But anyway, there was a long introduction, so let's get straight on in to this week's episode. Okay, so we'll get straight on into this week's question of the week. And the question of the week, again, it's one of them questions where it's a bit of there's a few things to the question. So basically, the question is there a name that you just associate with somebody who is a lesbian or somebody who is gay? Do you always meet someone and you hear they're gay and they always tend to have the same name? I hope that makes sense. So let's read your guys' answers. That's the TikTok. So we have Jazz, spelt with either a Z or an S. Then my mum commented. I think she thought she was being helpful, but she just put, this was literally her comment. Lots of lesbians have names which could be boy name like Samantha, in brackets Sam, Danielle, in brackets Danny, Nicola, in brackets Nick, etc. Yeah, but just because you have a name that could also be a boy's name doesn't mean that you're a lesbian. But I guess if you were a lesbian and you were called Samantha, you would probably potentially go by Sam, but you wouldn't have to. That wouldn't mean you were gay if you went by Sam, and it wouldn't mean you wouldn't gay if you didn't. Do you know what I mean? She thought she was being helpful. And then we have Chloe and Leah. This girl says, every Chloe and Leah I've met have been lesbian. Then I made another TikTok about it. On this one we have Katie and Ellie. And then somebody commented again and said, or something super femme on the most masked girls. I feel like I've seen that a lot, really, really masculine presenting girls. And then they have a super femme name. For example, if I was really masked and I was called Juliet, it almost I don't know, it's just you wouldn't expect that name to be associated with that person. But do you know what I mean? What's in a name? That's a quote, isn't it? Or is it in a song? What's in a name? I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure there was one or two more. Let's see. Do. I knew this one somewhere. Where is it? Oh, here we go. The most lesbian name is 100% Grace. I have never met someone called Grace in my life that is not a lesbian. Interesting. You know what? I'm going to Google and see. I'm going to Google most common lesbian name. I wonder if they've done like a survey on this. Do you know what I mean? Like, we interviewed 100 lesbians and saw which name came up most. Let's see what it says. That's ranked. I don't want like the rankings of them. I want like the actual. Oh, here's a TikTok about it. Oh my god, mine comes up when you search it. That's so fun. I love that. What do we have? It's not really giving me much. One comment just says mask. This isn't on mine. This is on someone else's video. Mask lesbians always have the most girliest names. Lauren, Jessica, Emily, Katie, Kate, Kay, Sarah, Emily, Shannon, Alex, Jen. I mean, we're just... Oh, Taylor's on there.
Yeah, because I'm a lesbian.
Go, girl. I feel like we're just listing off names. But I just thought it'd be interesting to know if anyone's like one girl said, like, every Chloe and Leah I've met has been a lesbian. I just think that's really interesting. Like, I wonder if, like, you attract people... You know how, like, you attract people and things into your life? I wonder if, like, once you meet someone who's a lesbian and they're called, say... Taylor, if then like you like attract more lesbians called Taylor into your life. It's really interesting, isn't it? Yeah, we're gonna get into some dilemmas because we've had loads sent in this week, which I'm really grateful for because it does obviously help me to do this podcast when there are people sending in questions and dilemmas, and we might even get some of Taylor's input today because she's around, even though she's very quiet. So, did we do this one last week? We did. I think we finished last week on the country, so let's go to the next one along. Okay, oh my god, I read this one earlier and it's quite fun. When I was on holiday in France with my family, there was this French staff member at the caravan park who is totally my type, in brackets, black curly hair with blonde highlights and lots of tattoos, close bracket. Sounds quite sexy. So I flirted with her and she flirted with me back and we did a lot of small talk. I was the only English girl who she spoke to, but now I'm back off holiday. I have no way of communicating with her as she has no social media. How am I getting over her? Oh my goodness, she's got no social media. That's crazy. Maybe you're going to have to go back to this caravan park. Please, 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 I beg of you, send me a message and tell me if it's Siblu, because I used to work for Siblu, and I will laugh out loud if it's the Siblu park I used to work at. I don't think this person I used to work with imagined the chance would be so soon, because I did not work with anyone who was gay in Siblu. But if it was Siblu, that would just be really funny. I think it's just like one of them like holiday romances. I mean, it wasn't even like a romance. You literally said you flirted, didn't you? It's like a little holiday crush. I feel like we've all had them. I think you just need to find someone else and move on. Like, no, I know it's brutal, but you know, it's not even like I could suggest to you make a TikTok and say to the black curly haired girl with blonde highlights and lots of tattoos who works at this place in France, text me, because she's not on any social media. So your options are go back there and ask for a number, or I think the best thing you could do, go out, meet someone new, and I'm sure your mind will be, you'll quickly forget about her once you just put yourself sort of back out there. But she can always be like, you know, your little French holiday romance, like you know, like your little like fantasy, like. But I think, you know, if you genuinely think like that there could be something there between you, what's stopping you from hopping on a flight to France? Do you know what I mean? Like, go and like confess your love, make it all like movie like. But like, I've not stopped thinking about you. Oh my god, you could like learn how to say something in French. I don't remember much French from when I lived in France. You know, femme ta gueule. I'm not going to say what that means in English, but if you know, you know. What else? I didn't really learn that much. Bonjour, bonsoir, bonne nuit tout le monde, à demain. La gauche, la droite, that's your right and left. One time I said le jambon, and I was talking about the leg, and all the French people were like, huh? And I was like, le jambon, and they were like, le jambe, whatever it is. Le jambon means ham, so I was like pointing to their legs and calling their legs ham. So I understand why they looked confused. Yeah, I think, yeah, your two options are go back and confess your love or that you fancy her, or just, get with someone else and forget about her and get her out of your mind. Okay, next one. I like this one. Do you have any advice on how to be more confident in being a lesbian? This is a good question for me because it's something that I feel like I struggled with for so long, and genuinely, I think the first time for me. Oh, thanks. Oh, I like it. There's a swimsuit that doesn't fit Taylor, so it's for me now. Pigs of being a lesbian. I mean, if that doesn't make you feel confident in being a lesbian, do you know what I mean? Find a nice girlfriend, steal their clothes. That makes me feel confident and great. But no, I didn't really feel confident like in my sexuality for a long, long time. It's something even still to this day, like I always feel like I'm like assessing situations when someone like says something about like the other day, this man came to build our new sofa, and he'd asked me where we wanted it, so I didn't know, so I rang my mum. And in this time, Taylor had pulled up, and this man was outside, and Taylor told him where my mum had said she wanted it. And it turns out it was the wrong place, so good thing I did phone my mum. But anyway, he comes back in and was like, "Oh, I just spoke to some girl, like, I don't know who she is, but she told me where you want it." And I should have just gone, "Oh, yeah, that's my girlfriend." But it's just one of them, like, awkward situations. Like, you don't know how someone's going to react. And I don't know if that's because it's, like, not being confident in being lesbian, or it's like, you're sort of, like, looking out for your safety because you never know how somebody's going to react to it. But yeah, it's an interesting one. But I think for me, one of the biggest things that made me feel more confident in being a lesbian was watching I Kissed a Girl, because that's when I first properly started for me. I love them. Ooh la la. Really impressed with this haul. Thank you so much, Taylor. Free clothes. But yeah, it was, I think, because that was the first time I started making TikToks like about watching the show, because I'd seen this girl do like Love Island recaps, and I thought I'm going to do that for I Kissed a Girl. And just talking about the show, I wasn't talking about myself and my sexuality, but I was talking about other people who like, are the same sexuality as me. And that was, I just started to feel a lot more comfortable and thought, I think sometimes being gay, it's hard, it's easy to think that you're the only person who has the feelings, bless you, that you feel. And you feel like you're like maybe sometimes you feel like you're the only gay person, if you don't have many gay friends. But watching I Kissed a Girl, it was so eye-opening to see these like vulnerable queer people just completely embracing and being themselves on national television. And I thought, if they can go on national, like, I was going to say global, that's like national television, and completely and utterly be 1000% themselves, I can do that in my day-to-day life. And yeah, so if you haven't watched I Kissed a Girl, genuinely go and watch it, because I honestly would say that is one of the reasons why I'm so confident, because I was able to, see other people that I shared like the same stories as. And I think there's somebody on I Kissed a Girl for everybody. There's somebody who's from like a similar upbringing or a similar place or like anything like that. And there's somebody that you can connect to their story. And I just think it was like, what an empowering thing to do, to go on national television and be on the UK's first lesbian dating show. Like, how cool is that? And even though I didn't do it, just watching them do it made me feel so empowered and confident. And like the conversations they had, it was so, so fabulous. So it really, really helped me sort of, embrace my sexuality. And that's kind of how the podcast was born. So obviously, Priya on I Kissed a Girl, who was on the podcast, if you've not listened to that episode, go and listen to it. I think it was episode 3, and it's one of my most listened to episodes, which it was a really good episode. Priya was spilling like all the I Kissed a Girl tea, like behind the scenes drama and bits like that, so go and listen. What was my point with that? I just totally went on a tangent. I'm gonna have to listen back to what I just said. I remember, so Priya quoted on the show like "Live, laugh, love, lesbian," and I thought, oh my god, that's so iconic. So then I was like, that's the name of the podcast, because on the first episode of the podcast, I mentioned how I was going to call it Just Jules, and it was going to be just Jules chatting about things. And then I said I don't really want to be like known as Jules anymore, because I want to be known as Juliet. Oh, take that off and put that in the bin.
It's gonna stop the sun from going in my
No, I will not be seen with you with that on your head, because you look like a little strange man. But yeah, so she quoted that on the show, and then I was like, that's the name of the podcast. And yeah, this is where this was born. And this has been something that's been really like empowering for me as well, to like create this podcast and talk to you all. And I feel like we're all like best friends, even though I don't know anyone who sends in a dilemma because it's all anonymous. But even on like TikTok, I've made such like a lovely like little community of you all, and it's just so cute. So yeah, go watch I Kissed a Girl, and I think just have that mentality, like, you know, you're not alone. There's so many other people out there who are queer and who are feeling the same way as you. But I think, you know, you are you, and own it and be proud of who you are, because you're freaking awesome. Okay, next one I just asked for Taylor's advice on before I before I read it to you all. So it says, my friend says her girlfriend won't use a dildo with her. What shall she do? That is an interesting question. And Taylor's like literally said straight off the bat, she was like, just have a conversation with each other. Obviously, like, your friend has confided in you and potentially is feeling like a little bit upset by this, but every person is different. Like, for example, I know some of my friends who use like dildos and sex toys all the time. Me and Taylor have never. Taylor just went, Juliet, just remember your mum's going to listen to this. But she actually said she doesn't know how to listen to the podcast. But anyway, Mum, if you're wondering, me and Taylor have never used a dildo. I'm going to so regret saying that, because if she ever listens to this podcast, I will just crawl up in a hole and die, even though we've never used one. But I know friends who have. And for me personally, I don't know, like, it's not something that's like ever really appealed to me, because I'm like, I don't like willies, so I don't want a pretend willy inside of me. Do you know what I mean? But it's each to their own. If you want a pretend willy up your coochie, you do that. You know what I need to do for the question of the week 1 week? And I know other podcasts have done this, but this is like, I want to know what you all call your lady parts. Me and Taylor have so many different names, don't we? So many different names. Mine used to have a name. She used to be called Vivian, but now she's just got different nicknames. We've got the Juna, the Coochie Nana. We got from Coochie Junie. We got from Juna to tuna, so we call it the tuna fish. So maybe next week that'll have to be the question of the week. What do you call your lady parts? What was the point of what I was saying? Yeah, I think, you know, I think the best advice you can give to your friend is, if it's something that's relationship defining to you, then, you know, you need to make it clear when you first get into a relationship, like, this is what I need out of this relationship. Can you provide that? Yes or no? If you're in a long-term relationship with, I mean, I'm assuming you're not in like a long-term relationship, or this would have surfaced a lot sooner. But I think just have a sit down with your girlfriend and, you know, just sort of speak about it and be like, would you be comfortable? Do you want to try it? You know, start off. I know the cat's locked outside.
No, she's locked in.
Oh, she's locked inside, but not in our bedroom. My dad's locked her in. You don't care about Penelope the cat. You know, start off small and then maybe like build up to a dildo. Yeah, I think every single person is different. Some people love the idea of it, some people don't like the idea of it, like me. So potentially, like, you know, your friend and their girlfriend are just very different people, and potentially it won't work in a relationship if, you know, one is very against it and one is like, this is something I need to have a good relationship. And that's fine too. Or they might have a conversation about it and they might go, yep, let's give it a try. Or, listen, this is something I'm really not comfortable with. And your friend might say, you know what, that's fine, let's just try other things instead. Yeah, I hope that helps. Mum, please don't listen to this or anyone else. I just introduced my dad to the podcast app today. Imagine if he starts listening to this. You will never hear a podcast episode again. I will just crawl in the hole. Oh my goodness, we've spoke for 30 minutes and I still have so many dilemmas. We'll have to save some for next week. How many have we got? We've got loads more. I'm going to let Taylor choose the next one and we'll save some for next week because I'm panicking. We've had like an influx, so what if like none more come in before next week? Oh, we are away next week actually. Me and Taylor are going on our very first...
We're not podcasting on the holiday.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm just letting you know.
Okay, well, no podcast next week because Taylor says we're not allowed to do a podcast on the holiday. I actually had this plan to like live from Mallorca. No, I did. But me and Taylor are going, hey Penelope. Me and Taylor are going on our very first holiday.
Well, proper holiday.
Our proper, yeah. So we've been away with my mum and my godmother went to Paris. And I think that's...
Every time we go away, Jill is there.
Oh, well, I rang my mum earlier. My mum's away with my godmother. And they were like, what's the name of the... They're joking, I think. What's the name of the hotel you're staying in? We might extend our holiday. And I was like, oh my God, do it. But I know Taylor would be like, no! Because we need some alone time away from my family because they can be quite intense. But yeah, we're going on our first holiday. So I potentially might pre-record an episode. But I quite like to do them like quite like fresh each week because like new things come in, like new things to update you all on. So there may be an episode next week. There may not be. But we'll maybe save some of the dilemmas. I'm going to read them to Taylor and she can choose which one we do next. Okay, guys, I'm back. I actually went for a wee and read Taylor the dilemmas whilst I weed. And then you know what Taylor said? We didn't actually listen to any of them. So I'll just choose. We'll go for this one. So it says, I've been dating this girl for coming up 8 months, but the whole time it has been a secret because she isn't ready to come out. Then a few days ago, she finally came out to her whole family and everyone in her life. So I asked, can we finally tell everyone about us? And she replied no. I then asked how long she wants to wait to tell people, and she didn't reply. I feel that she is embarrassed of me and doesn't want to be in a relationship with me, but I don't know how to bring that up or how to talk to her about it. Do you have any advice? This is like a difficult situation to be in, but I think you've already overcome one hurdle of her coming out to people, and potentially, you know, she's had the courage to come out to people, but she's not quite got the courage to say, and I'm in a relationship. It's, you know, it's a process for some people. Some people can, I didn't even come out. I just put a post on Facebook that said, Jules Taylor is in a relationship with Taylor. And oh my God, didn't we get so many likes and comments? We went like Facebook famous. But, you know, for some people, it takes them so long to build up the courage to, you know, come out. And then it might, you know, just take another few, it could take days, it could take weeks, it could take months, it could take a year for it to then be able to say, okay, guys, you know, remember when I said that I was into girls? I'm actually in a relationship now. You know, it's a process, and I guess it depends, you know, what her family are like. And that sound is really starting to disturb me, Taylor.
I'm struggling. Do you want my phone to explode under the water?
No, Taylor's just testing out our underwater phone case because we're going to snorkel when we're in Mallorca. Yeah, I don't think she's embarrassed of you, because I think if she was embarrassed of you, she wouldn't be with you, because let's be honest, like nobody's going to date someone that they're embarrassed of. And I understand it's so hard because you want to tell people that you're in this like amazing relationship and you're so happy, but obviously you knew when you started dating her that she wasn't out and she wasn't quite ready to come out. So you kind of, in a way, you knew what you were getting yourself in for, but I understand still it's hard. So you said it's been 8 months. Okay, so you know, in 8 months' time, she sort of built up the courage and felt comfortable to tell her family. I don't know how her family have reacted. I'm assuming maybe not too bad, or maybe you would have mentioned it. But, you know, it might just take a little while longer to then say, okay, Mum, Dad, you know, I said I'm into girls. I really would love to introduce you to my girlfriend, Taylor. It's a really, really hard one, because I know everyone's coming out stories are so different. But I think you just need to, you know, maybe in your brain set yourself like a little deadline. So you said it's coming up 8 months. Maybe say, okay, after a year, when it hits the 12-month mark, if she's still not happy for us to post on social media and tell our friends that we're dating, you know, it might just be worth saying to her, just saying, look, it's really getting me down that I'm not able to, you know, tell my friends and family about this relationship that I'm in. You know, you could keep it off social media. You don't have to, you know, go straight to, you know, being Facebook official. It might just be that you can like tell your friends and your family and like, you know, keep it like with your close friends and family and start there and see how that goes. And then you can, you know, do like a little soft launch on Instagram where you are really frustrated. You are frustrating me. Taylor's phone was nearly stuck in the underwater phone case. Exactly, that's a good sign though, isn't it? That nothing can get in there. I forgot what I was saying now.
Month relationship.
Yeah, I would maybe, you know, give it until month 12 and then maybe before month 12 you say to her, look, it's coming up to a year of us being together and I've not been able to tell anyone we're dating. I feel like I'm keeping a secret from my family and friends because I want to be able to tell them about this amazing relationship I'm in and be like, are you comfortable with me, you know, telling my friends and family? And if that's a no, then maybe it's like, maybe that's when you need to start digging a bit deeper and being like, okay, like, why is that? Because it's starting to make me feel like you're embarrassed of me and that you don't want to be seen with me. And me and Taylor had like a similar dilemma to this near the start of our relationship because Taylor's not very posty on social media and she absolutely hates pictures, whereas I'm the complete opposite. So I was always like, why aren't you posting on social media? Why don't you want to take pictures of me? Is it because you're embarrassed of me? And we literally had this conversation, didn't we? And I sat down, I listened to Taylor, I listened to, you know, why she doesn't like posting on social media that much, why she's not the biggest fan of photos. And yes, I do still force Taylor to take pictures of me, but I'm a lot more mindful and I understand when it's too much. Would you agree? She's looking at me like, I don't think so. I asked her if she would make, you know, the doodaloo doo doo, doodaloo doo doo. Do you think anyone's going to know what that is? You know, when you cross your foot over and you high five each other and then you like change outfit. I asked if she would do that with me when I'm on holiday. And she said no, of course. Yeah, everyone's different. And like, we had that conversation and now it made me feel a lot better. It made me feel like, you know, she's not embarrassed of me. And occasionally I'll get an Instagram story. I used to have a few posts and then she deleted them. She doesn't really post. She I think there's 3 pictures on your Instagram. Yeah, I think, you know, you just need to have that conversation. It might be awkward, but it's either going to be awkward and it's going to pay off, or it's going to be awkward and you're going to say, okay, you know what? This isn't going to work. I need somebody who's going to want to show me off and who's going to want to post me all over their social media and let me tell all my friends and family and tell their friends and family about me and how amazing I am. And that's fine if that's the case and you end up not being together because you both want different things in life and you both, you know, have different ways of, you know, showing your love. And if yours is needing to be shown off and spoke about, then that's fine if this isn't the relationship for you. And, you know, you can then find somebody else who's going to show you off on social media and tell their friends and family about how wonderful and beautiful and gorgeous and stunning you are, because I'm sure that you are all of those things. I hope that helps. Feel free to give us an update if you have that conversation or if anything changes. But I think, you know, be there for your... You said you're dating. I'm not sure if your girlfriends are like, you just like date and like on and off. But be there for your... we'll just call her a partner. But be there for your partner, you know. Say like, is there anything I can do to help you feel more comfortable on this journey? Because she might just need, like, you know, maybe you say, do you want me to tell your friends and family? I mean, I don't know how well you know our friends and family, but, you know, have a little conversation. I think a conversation cannot harm anyone. You're either going to come out of the conversation and go, okay, great, we've resolved this, or you're going to come out and go, okay, I think we're in different places in life and this isn't going to work, and that is totally fine, whatever happens. Well, guys, I am going to wrap up this episode here. So we've got some juicy dilemmas saved for next time, so make sure you tune in. Like I said, I will try to get an episode pre-recorded for next week when I'm away in Mallorca, unless I can convince Taylor to do a live from Mallorca, live off of Lesbian episode. Probably won't. We're going to see Ashley Gavin this Sunday. Can't wait. Maybe I'll get Ashley on the pod. Be like, hey girl, do you want to be on my podcast? And she'll be like, yeah. Dream guest on my podcast. Everyone's seen Jojo Siwa's got a new girlfriend. People keep commenting on the girlfriends videos like, blink twice if you need help. And I'm like, LOL. You know what? I think I would date Jojo Siwa. She's a little bit young for me. If she was like 2 years older, I think I would date Jojo Siwa. Would you date Jojo Siwa? No. So I was like, no. Maybe that'll be a question of the week 1 week as well. Would you date Jojo Siwa? So let me know. Would you date Jojo Siwa? Anyway, thank you all so much for listening. Remember, if you have a question, a dilemma, a story time, or anything, you can head to my Google form and submit it anonymously. Make sure you follow my TikTok, Juliet Francis T, so you can answer the question of the week and be involved with the podcast. Everything will be linked in the description. Please leave me a 5-star review and give me a follow on TikTok and Instagram and send in your dilemmas, because it really helps make the podcast as exciting as I think it is. You might not think it's exciting, but I think it's exciting and I love doing it so much. And I love that there's people out there who are, you know, sending in the dilemmas and people are like, oh, thank you so much for the advice. It really helped. And I'm like, oh, that's so nice. So I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Have a great week and I love you all. Bye.